Sahana bhavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay, so we saw that Paravidya is talking about the whole, and one needs to engage with this Paravidya in order to know the truth, right? Now, the next, so what Paravidya means, the words of the Vedas, you need to hear and you need to create the right meanings in your head to understand what the reality is, because that reality is not available to you for objectification. So you need to listen to the words and create the right understanding in your head, right? So now, how many people get to hear the Vedas in their lifetime? Not many. So this is what is said in the next verse. So next verses we see Shravanayam api bahubihi yaha na labhyaha shrunvantaha api bahavaha yam na vidyuhu Ascharya vakta kushalasya labdha Ascharya jnata kushalaha anushishtaha na narena avarena proktaha Esha subhigneyaha bahuda chintyamanaha ananya prokte gatiratra nasti aniyan hi yat anu pramanat. Who wants to read? Okay, who wants to read?
I can read. This self is not available for listening to many. In spite of listening, many do not understand this self. Amazing is the teacher. Wonderful is the finder of this self. Instructed by a competent one, the one who knows this self is wonderful. Being considered in many ways, this self taught by an incompetent person cannot be understood very clearly. When taught by one who is non-different from the self, there is no misunderstanding about the self. Being smaller than the size of an atom, it is beyond reason.
Thank you. Okay, so let's look at many of this. Now the question is, if Shreyas is something which is absolute good, why haven't people even heard of Vedas and Upanishads in their life? So, why is it not available for listening? Or even if they have heard of, it doesn't create, they are not interested, right? So, why is it not available for listening? What is Ishvara partial that you only get these few people to hear and don't make it available to others? What accounts for such few people pursuing this knowledge? What do you think?
Perhaps a karma.
Okay. What else?
Because we can't objectify.
Okay.
I just said because we can't objectify.
Okay.
The free will.
Yeah.
Maybe because people are so busy with managing their daily life and then do what their parents have done and just follow what they see other do.
A lot of it is everybody is, nobody is, nobody has the knowledge, but nobody also knows that they don't have knowledge. So you're ignorant of the fact that you have something called ignorance and you need to remove that ignorance. So what then happens is ignorance becomes the norm. If everybody has ignorance and that becomes normal, and retaining your ignorance, whatever you think you can do to make your life a little lighter, little more entertaining, this is what mostly people go for, right? Because also the senses report objects and they fascinate you in some ways. So the tendency is, I'm feeling small, now let me try this, let me go here, let me go there, and it just is endless. So most of the people, because of lack of discrimination, right, they don't even search. And even if they go to spirituality, what attracts them is what? Keep quiet. Because mind and the thoughts have become so difficult, then what? Thoughtlessness becomes very attractive. Because it gives you some respite from all these difficult thoughts that you have. So whole life goes in trying to be thoughtless. Or anything, or a whole life goes in, oh now wait, this is beyond words, it's beyond anything, beyond the world. So now wait for some extraordinary experience. It all is just one fantasy after the other. So what happens is most of the people, as Gabby says, are very busy in just normal pursuits, artha, dharma and kama. The other few who see some limitation, they are in their own trip of spirituality, doing their own practices, thinking this is wonderful, this will one day give me some enlightenment. So that means there are very few who ask this question that it's very simple. A limited me, searching for things which are limited, is never going to find freedom from limitation. It's simple. But mind is fanciful. Anything extraordinary attracts you. So, Swamiji used to say, the easiest way to draw thousands of people to you is what? Do a little magic. From your hand, let some powder, vibhuti come out. Everybody is, oh, you're some great. Now, you don't ask yourself one more question. How is that producing powder connected to understanding life? But the mind is so fanciful because most of the people can't do it and this person does it. Let's flock to him. Because he is special. So, everything is just something extraordinary, something unusual to take you away from daily boredom. Whole spiritual trip is like that. Daily monotony, something fantastic, something unusual. So this is where everybody is. That's why they never get to hear it. It's not that Ishvara keeps it a secret, but you choose for various reasons not to seek it. And as long as you don't choose to seek it, it remains a secret. So this is why Shravanayam api Bahubihi na labhyaha doesn't mean Ishvara is keeping it as a secret. It is because you don't choose to know it for various reasons. Right? Then, Shunvantaha api bahavaha yamna vidyuhu. Some grace, and you come. and you get to listen to the teaching. Now, who do you listen to Vedanta from? Because later on it will say, Ananya prokte gatihi atra nasti. You came across a teacher of Vedanta who himself inspired you. He himself or herself. But himself or herself was not totally clear, just parroting things. What will they do? They will take you to a certain point because they have exposed and they are teaching. But what does it mean? That lot of things are unresolved in themselves. So they can't take you all the way. But if the person has understood clearly, then is there a guarantee that you will understand it correctly? That also is not guaranteed because it has to meet some conditions, like we have seen. Certain preparedness, certain qualities. So what does it mean? This the way Ishvara, if you want to know that you and Ishvara are one, you can't be just this small struggling human being and know that. You need certain growth and you need certain expansion before this knowledge sits with you. But here, look at this. Even after listening, you don't know it. So in Mundaka Upanishad, there is this imagery which is used, and they say, what is the source of knowledge? Vedas, which are from Ishvara, are the source of knowledge. So Vedas there is an imagery, a bow. And what is the arrow? The mind. What is the target? Brahman. So you have a bow and you have an arrow. But the arrow, does it always reach the target? No. If you are not skilled, where will it go? Sometimes the target is here and it will go there. Or sometimes you just miss it. So what happens is, like how Sita Devi was saying in the previous class, that everything that I was listening and all the orientation that I have so far is with reference to things of the world, which falls within Aparavidya. If the same framework I'm going to use to know something which is the cause of this, is not going to be, some elements are very useful. We are not saying it's totally unrelated. But you can't totally replicate that process here. And all this discrimination you need to have. And what it means is that even the teacher has to have. Otherwise, the teacher will also hide everything behind Shraddha. They will say whatever, and if you question, you don't have Shraddha, makes you feel bad. So this is when it's very important that even as you are beginning to understand, your mind is not able to reach Brahman, it's not able to reach target. So when can you say that the knowledge is clear? When the mind has understood what Vedanta is conveying exactly and completely. There is no discrepancy. There is no gap between what you understand and what Ishvara is revealing to you. Before that precision comes, it takes time. But for that precision to come, here he says, now, imagine what is being talked about is not objectifiable. And the teacher still has to teach it. It's unlike anything empirical, and teacher still has to talk about it. And the teacher has to use the words which are limited to convey something which is free from limitation. Ascharya Bhakta. The teacher has to be skilled how to use all of this to do the job and transfer the knowledge from one head to the other. Ascharya Bhakta. But what is a blessing is within the teaching, there are prakriyas. They don't just talk about your Brahman, and you keep doing Japan, Brahman, and Brahman, and Brahman. They have a leading methodology. They understand what is the mistake that you are making, what is your present position. And slowly, they take you from where you are to where they want to take you. This method of leading is called prakriya. What is prakriya? A methodology. To make sure that you don't just impute something inaccurate, they take you from one step to the other. And I'm going to talk about this. How does this leading work? So, because he brought it up, Sandor brought it up. There are many prakriyas. I'm just going to highlight one. And one is, oh, look at this. My board is full. Where is the duster? The duster only disappeared.
No tissue with water.
Tissue is here. Okay, doesn't matter. I'll just use this much space. I'll just use this much space. Only this much. Okay. So, there is one prakriya called Shakha Chandravat Nyaya. You want to erase?
If you
Yeah, okay, it is easy.
Yeah, this color.
Or this is easy. Okay.
Enough?
Yeah. Shakha Chandravat Nyaya or Sthula Arundhati Nyaya. There is a star, both are similar. There is a star called Arundhati with Dhruva, North Star, and next to North Star there is this little shining star. Now, if there is this huge sky, and if you look up the sky, and if I keep telling you there is this Arundhati star and keep looking, when will you find it? You'll never find it. So there is a method of leading. And how do you lead? You start by saying, do you see this tree? Then you say, yeah, this tree I see. What I want to show you is this Arundhati star. Now, from this tree, you concentrate on the right branch. And the right branch itself has what? The set of flowers. So now I'm making you focus on the tree. Within the tree, here. Then making you go up a little bit. Then I said, then there are a lot of stars here. Now go to this. Do you see this? Yeah, okay, I see there is. Now you go little bit right. This is the star. This is called leading methodology. Where did I start? With the tree. Has tree anything to do with this Arundhati? But without tree, this is inaccessible. This is called leading methodology. So what it means is, all these, is it a waste to talk about this tree and this branch and within that these flowers and then there is some other star? Is all this waste? But is this what I want to show? No. So this is what we call Tatastha Lakshana. They are all used. And this is Swarupa. This is what I want to convey. But from where you are, If I just ask you to look at the open sky which has so many stars and so many things, you won't be able to identify this little star. This is the method of leading. So, if you keep talking only about the vastu, about the reality, but if you are not led, you will never get there. You will create your own imagination. So, this is what the wise teacher is equipped with. And you don't get lost here, but you use it appropriately and you take it. Now, if the person who is trying to show you Arundhati star himself or herself has not seen it, and they have to lead you to it.
You end up somewhere.
You end up God knows where. So this is why it says it's extremely important that the person has seen it. Then the person is able to use everything which is not really what it is to take you to.
Because I think you are too close to the speaker.
Oh, this is on. Maybe that's on. Yeah, this is on. This was on. So, what it then means is that the person who himself does not see it, and they are familiar. They know the tree, they know the branch, they know this, but they themselves don't see it. So they'll repeat like a parrot, but can they really show you? No. So this is the whole thing, that not only, look at this, what are the conditions? For you to know what are the conditions, you have to seek the knowledge. Then you need to find the right teacher who knows. And you need to identify. And you need to follow the prakriyas precisely. The methodology. And be led to this. So this is what this verse is saying. Most of the people do not even seek it. After having sought, they don't know it for two reasons. One is the teacher themselves don't know, and the second is, even if the teacher knows, they are not, able to follow the prakriyas precisely. So that knowledge or the thinking processes are not straight enough. So this is the difficulty in knowing, right? So now you add the fact that it's unlike anything else, and all these conditions have to be met. So what is it conveying? It's not that easy, right? But look at this, he's not saying in terms of it's not easy. Ashcharya Vakta. Look how is it expressing. It's a wonder that somebody talks about it. And it's a wonder that somebody gets it. How does the Upanishad put it in a negative way? Oh, it's very difficult and it will not get, and it doesn't make it heavy. How does it express it? How does he express it? It's a wonder that somebody talks about it. And it's a wonder that one among many gets it. This is what we call language. Either you can have inspiring language, or you can have language which dampens your spirit. That is something that we all have to learn, because Upanishads are always optimistic. They don't use this, sometimes if they use, also they give you an example. And that example is very interesting example. But they don't say you will not get it and it is difficult. It doesn't use such a gross language. It has a finesse. It tells you in a very interesting manner. Don't think of it as something over easy, but it is a possibility. Inspires you to move forward, right? So this is this is something that Lord Yama tells Nachiketa, that what you are asking is something which is not available for many people, and many people, even after hearing, they don't get it because the teacher himself doesn't know. So you are so lucky that now you have, what is Lord Yama doing? Praising Nachiketa, but also is praising him, because what? Is he the clear one or he is lost? He is clear. So he is setting up, right? Now this is the feedback that Lord Yama gives to Nachiketa. Now Nachiketa responds, and this is the last verse, and then after that the teaching starts, right? All this is a build-up to the teaching. Now Nachiketa is listening to Lord Yama, and then he says, now he is impatient. He says, now this is wonderful, all this he's saying, Shreyas and prayers and Vidya and Avidya, and this is not something which can be known very easily, and it's a wonder that somebody talks, and the person who is clear can lead you. If the person is not clear, they cannot lead you. All this is wonderful, but this is all periphery. He hasn't still started teaching. So now Nachiketa wants Lord Yama to start teaching. So now look what he's saying. This is so clever. Here he says, Anyatra dharmat, yatra asmat, krutat akrutat, anyatra bhutacha bhavyacha, yattat pashyasi tatvada. Now Nachiketa is telling Lord Yama, enough of this periphery. Now I want to know what is the nature of Atma. So you tell me. So how does he say? Look at this. It's beautiful how he expresses himself. Who wants to read?
Alright. Tell me that which you see as different from Dharma, different from Adharma, different from this cause and effect, and different from past and future.
Excellent, right? He says that the reality that you see, which is different from Dharma and Adharma. What does it mean? What is the definition of Dharma? As we saw it in the evening class. What do you think is Dharma? What is Dharma for you?
Etiquette. Honest. The ability to know what's the right thing to do in a given context.
Excellent, right? So that means there is, when we talk about Dharma, we in fact talk about law of Dharma. What does it mean? This is Ishvara's law. Like there is law which is physics, biology, chemistry, right? Everything works according to this law. A situation comes with the intrinsic thing about what is appropriate in that situation. What is your role in that situation, and what is the response that is the most appropriate response in that situation. This is the law. Then, as Millie says, your ability to assess and arrive at it is another ballgame altogether. Because the situation in Ishvara's vision comes the situation comes with that appropriate response which is inbuilt. But whether your mind is able to figure it out or not is another story. You want to be ethical. Many people wanted to be ethical, like Yudhishthir. They all wanted to be ethical, Bhishma, but they were not able to be ethical. They were not able to arrive at what was to be done for one reason or the other. So here dharma is very different. Dharma is what law of dharma. What does it mean? A situation comes from the standpoint of the order. Situation comes with the implicit this thing of what is your role and what is to be done by you. It fits. Now, it's entirely up to you if your buddhi is able to arrive at it. And people arrive at it in different degrees. Somebody is totally away from it, somebody is close, somebody is slightly misguided. And what is the result? Is everybody is not able to arrive at what is to be done. Are they all compensated equally? No. This is why there is no such thing called just either you got it right or you got it wrong and you got only plus, otherwise you got minus. What does it mean is gradations. So if you are completely driven by your greed and you have no consideration for what is to be done, your buddhi is not even trying to find out what is to be done, you get minus. But you tried to find out and you didn't quite arrive at it because of one reason or the other. The compensation for this and this is not the same. Some effort was involved here, but you still didn't get it totally right. So that's why it's all degrees. And one time you didn't get it right doesn't mean every time you will not get it right. This is why this dharma and adharma itself is a very subtle thing. And sometimes you can be very close and you may miss it, and sometimes you can be very far when your raga, dveshas and your pressures come in. It's not all linear, from adharma we are all moving to dharma. That's why, what does this teaching do? Gives you discrimination to be able to figure out. Because nobody can be with you and telling you all the time what to do. You have to develop that skill of figuring out. When the situation comes, it doesn't come with an answer, you have to figure it out. It comes with an answer from Ishvara's standpoint, but your thinking has to match that. And depending upon how close you get, there is a compensation, there is a consequence. Now, this teaching about Brahman, is it with reference to whether you get exactly what is to be done or you are deviating from what is to be done in different degrees? Is this teaching about doing the right thing? No, knowledge of Brahman. Anyatra dharmat, anyatra adharmat. This subject matter of the final truth about the nature of Atma is not about doing the right thing or not doing the right thing. This is not the scope of inquiry. Do you understand? It's not about being a good person, it is about your truth. This may be a precondition to know the truth, but the knowledge is not about doing the right thing or not doing the right thing, because the knowledge sees you as consciousness which has never performed an action. So this is not the subject matter. Do you understand? Anyatra dharmat, anyatra dharmat. Anyatra asmat, krutat and akrutat. When you look at the world, you see, look at this, you see the world arranged in a given order. Cause and effect. What does it mean? If you want tree, how do you get tree? You don't get tree without planting a seed. This is the order. If you want this effect, you need this cause. Without this cause, this effect will not take place. So this is the arrangement in the world. There is a certain sequence in cause and effect. You cannot change the sequence. But the world is so complex. Look at this. This seed, which you call it cause, you change the standpoint. You ask one more question. Where did this seed come from? Where did the seed come from? It came from the tree. So now this becomes
Cause.
effect,
Oh.
and the tree
Is the
from which it comes,
This is the cause.
it becomes the cause. That means this seed, if I ask you, is it cause or an effect? Both, depending upon what is your reference point. With reference to the future tree, it is the cause. But with reference to the tree from which it came, it is an effect. On one hand, this effect cannot come from cause, but this cause itself is an effect of something else. So every status of cause and effect is only provisional. But the relationships you can't bypass. This is empirical world. Things are set up in a way you cannot have a tree without a seed. But the seed itself comes from the other tree. Simpler. Are you the cause or an effect? With reference to your parents, you are an effect. They are the cause and you are the effect. But suppose you have children, then you are the cause for the children that you have. So are you cause or effect? Both. Depending upon that. But it doesn't mean you can skip and arrange it anyway. You can't become cause with reference to your parents and effect with reference to your kids. This is called the order. So everything in this universe follows this relationship, cause and effect. One thing is both cause and effect, but in a given order. You can't switch the order. Now here he says, Anyatra, Kruta and Akruta. Tell me about that final truth which doesn't fall in the empirical world of cause and effect, which is the cause from which both the cause and effect have come and this relationship has come. I'm not asking for a relative cause in the universe, which in itself is an effect. I'm asking from that cause which doesn't fall within this relationship. I'm asking for the cause from which tree has come, seed has come, and that given relationship between tree and seed has come. So what is he asking for? Not a provisional cause within the universe, the cause of the universe from which every form has come and all the relationships have come. Do you see what Nachiketa is now saying? Now, okay, enough of praising and talking about this and Shreyas and Vidya and Avidya. It's wonderful. I was fascinated by all of this and it all played a role. But now I want the teaching. And what is this teaching? Neither it falls within Dharma and Adharma, nor I'm asking about a relative cause and relative effect. I want that which is the cause. Anyacha, bhutacha, bhavyacha. So, within this cause and effect, look at this, operates within time and space. All these relationships, at a given point in time, and that seed was in effect because it came from the tree. But at the other point in time, it became the cause for the new tree. It all happens within time and space. All these relationships are set within, the relationships between objects are set within time and space. This is why you can't become the parent before you become the son. You can't switch that order. It all happens in time and space. So, here he says, this happens what there is past, there is present, and there is future, and the roles of those objects also change. Here he is asking about this cause, which is the cause of time, space, and object universe, which is not subject to time, from which the time has come, from which the space has come, from which all the objects have come and all the relationships have come. He is asking for the cause. Do you understand? So, this is Nachiketa's. And he says, look at this. You see this cause, and please teach me about this cause now. This is what now I am ready for. Is this cause available for Pratyaksha Pramana? Is it available for your perception? Is it available for your inference? No. This is why he needs Lord Yama to then teach him about this cause, the final cause. So, this is Nachiketa's question. Look, even before the teaching starts, what Nachiketa is asking, how far his buddhi is going. Look at how he formulates a question, how much he understands. And using all this, Shriyas and prayers and Vidya and Avidya, this falls within Aparavidya. This is Paravidya, not available. These relationships you can study in biology, in physics, all this is available. This is not available. So, this is what he asks. Now, finally, the teaching starts. So, let's start. Now, Lord Yama cannot beat around the bush. Now, he has to tell. Everything, he was not beating around the bush. Everything was preparing himself, understanding what he has chosen, understanding how this knowledge works, understanding how this pramana works. It's very, very important to prepare your mind for what is to be taught, what is to be understood. Okay, so now he talks about the causeless cause, and he talks about it as what? The nature of Atma, that is, na jayate mriyate va vipaschit, nayam kutaschit na babhuva kaschit, ajaha nityaha shashvatoyam puranaha, na hanyate hanyamane sharire. So, who wants to read?
This omniscient one is not born, nor does it die. It did not originate from anything. It did not become anything. It is unborn, eternal, decayless and growthless. It is not afflicted when the body is afflicted.
Okay, so now this is something. Now he started first by saying, teach me, right? This nature of Atma, because even Devas are what? In the Manusha Loka, some say it exists, some say it doesn't exist. So what he wants to know is the real nature of Atma. And what Lord Yama tells him is, the nature of Atma is, look at this. Na jayate, na mriyate. So what does it mean? The Atma, I am, is not born and it does not die. Then na ayam kutaschit. So what does it mean? It does not, it is a causeless cause. It does not have an origin. Like this body is in effect from the cause. So here, it is the causeless cause. It did not come from anything. And it did not become anything. And then it is what? Nityaha. So Ajaha. Ajaha is unborn. Nityaha is not subject to time. Shashvataha, decay-less. Puranaha, growthless. When the body dies, it does not die. It is not na hanyate hanyamani sharire. When body dies, now look at this. Where is, before we listen to what Shastra has to say about nature of Atma. Atma is I am. What is our conclusion? Where is your I am placed? In body. Right now, it is placed in body. And if body was the final identity of you, that was the final reality of you, then does this description match? No. It doesn't match, because body is definitely born. It definitely will go one day. It is not a causeless cause. It came from your parents. And it undergoes a change to become the cause for children. Definitely it is not unborn. It is what? It is subject to time. It undergoes decay. And it is also growing at a certain place. It has attributes. So that means the I am that Shastra speaks about is definitely not the I am that I take myself to be. Right? But can I completely negate this? And if I just say, oh, there is Brahman which is without all of this, there is a leading. And what is this leading? I have to start with the body. Where I make a mistake, where I take myself as I am. And what do I need to do? I have to re-understand my relationship with the body. Because if I take the whole of I am as body, It is definitely, that if I think Atma is body, it's definitely not what Shastra says, what is the nature of Atma. So when I re-understand my relationship with the body, and if we use Swamiji's yesterday's class to understand my relationship with the body, what will I understand? What did Swamiji say in yesterday's class?
Trust.
So what he said was something very interesting. What he said, no, but was it yesterday or day before yesterday? I think, yeah, I don't know, one of the days. And what he said was interesting. Who has the claim on this body? Who has the claim on this body? That the mother says it was my egg. The father says it is my sperm. Right? Then what? After it has come, who claims the body? Your wife, who suppose you are married, she says, yeah, I'm married to this person, this body, is connected to me. Then your children say that, hey, this body, they have ownership because this person is supposed to look after us. We are brought into this world by them and they have responsibility to look after us. Then what he said is that the plants claim the body, the earth claims the body, the air claims the body. Every second that the body is alive, it is drawing from the air. If you stop intake of air, how long will this body be alive? If you don't eat, Millie may have another idea. But if you don't eat, how long? According to her, you will live very long. But according to the Vedas, maybe maximum how long? 40 days.
Well, more than that.
Okay, because she thinks that okay, so she'll talk about it. So, but what is interesting is that the trees are quietly preparing all the nutrients that you need so that you can grow and take, and then there is a digestive file here which absorbs the nutrients and provides nutrients to all the organs. So there is a natural, so what does it mean? Trees can claim the body, but this body will not be able to survive without our contribution. The air, the sun claims the body and says, hey, what is this body? In 1 second, right, if I move just a millimeter, the body will not exist. How many people have claim to this body? How many things are required to get this body to exist and to make it continue? How many? What, when you say it is my body, what is it that you own? It's only a sense of ownership. What is the reality? It is just come into being because of the causes. It is sustained by causes. For it to just live one more day, it needs participation of so many things to work. And you have not created any of that. Neither you have created this body. If you had created it, you would have made it little different. Everybody, that's why they run for plastic surgery. Then Julia Roberts, who I like, I thought she was very nice. And in one article she writes that I have had some, 25 different surgeries to look the way I look. What does it mean? If you had created your body, you would have made it slightly different. Neither you made this body, nor the factors which keep the body alive, you have created. But does it then mean it's one of the many objects? No. Then Swamiji says, okay, okay, everybody has a claim on body, but suppose, now look at this, he's so clever. He says, suppose you ask air to manage the body. What will the air say? I'm not interested in managing one body. The waters will say, I'm not interested in managing this body. The sun will say, no, why should I take responsibility for it? So that means everybody has participated to make this body what it is, but there is only one managing trustee. Who manages this body? That is entrusted on you. Only one person gets to manage one body, has a unique relationship with one body. So what is your relationship with the body? Are you the body, or you are the owner of the body, or you are just, this body is given to you to manage? For how long? For how long are you the managing trustee of the body? Even that you don't know. Even that happens according to Ishvara's order. And today, this morning, there is a very famous Indian performer, classical music tabla player. Many of you may have heard his international star, superstar, Zakir Hussain. I don't know if any one of you have heard of him. He's tabla player. He's just brilliant, right? And Millie gives me the news after the class that he passed away. And he's such a celebrity. It is like, for in your culture, Pavarotti. That level of musician. Or in the olden times, Mozart. That level. And it is such a shock for everybody because he was not, she tells me he was 73 years old, which is not old. And he was full of life and he was performing and in his prime. I mean, he was not getting old or anything like that. He gave so many concerts and he was traveling around the world. How long you are entrusted with this body, for how long you are going to manage it, even that is not clear. What is this sense of ownership? This is me. What? What about it is you? It's food, digested food, air breathed, all the blood doing its job, the neurons ticking, the cells doing its job. What about it is you? Where is this I am? So now, instead of I am body, where is your I am shifted to? I am managing this body. I'm a managing trustee of this body. God knows for how long. And while I'm managing it, it depends upon so many factors for its survival. And as a managing trustee, what is my role? Can I abuse it? Managing trustee means the trustee means it comes with responsibility. Can I waste it away? So what does it mean is, instead of I am the body, you have now created not total distance, right? You are managing trustee of the body, but that I am is different from the body. Cognitive distance. There is no physical distance, there is cognitive distance. The relationship with body has changed. the fact that it has come from participation of so many forces is understood. It is sustained by so many forces is understood. It is, but you do have a special relationship with only one body for which you are the managing trustee is also understood. But the mistake that I am as good as the body is taken away. Do you understand this relationship? You are not trying to, are we trying to dissociate with the body? Can you be the managing trustee if you try to dissociate with the body? You can't. But the relationship is a change it's a cognitive change. No, not physical change. This is why Swamiji used to say that I am not the body. Vedanta leaves you floating in the air. I am not the body, I am not the... You're not connected, you're not grounded. What are you doing? You're trying to dissociate from something from which you cannot physically separate yourself. That's why it all becomes some big drama, fantasy. It is just a cognitive change of what really the body needs. It's different forces coming together. And there is an order in how it all is put together and how it all works, sophisticated. And you are only with reference to one body, you are managing trustee, not with reference to every body. And what is your role as a managing trustee? To look after it and to use it for the real purpose for which it is given. According to the Vedas, what is the purpose for this body? That why is this body given to you? To undertake the journey so that you can get shreyas. That is, according to the Vedas, human body is given to you for removing the error about who you are and knowing your true nature. It's a vehicle which will allow you to undo that mistake. That's why it's a precious body. Human birth is not something to be wasted away. So now that you have corrected that this is not the body, this is not who I am, and you have created a right relationship with the body. That's why Atma is, since Atma is not the body, Atma can be this, that you still have to discover. But now, before you discover what is the nature of Atma, your I am is not only stuck in the body, it is stuck somewhere else. Very intimate connection. And where is that connection? In the mind. So whatever happens in the mind, it becomes something which is happening to I am. So that means, having negated this, negated not in the sense of creating a physical distance, but just a cognitive distance and getting my relationship with the body right, I also need to get my relationship with the mind right. So I am not the mind also creates, because what did we see? Both Paravidya and Aparavidya need mind. You can't have, if you're at the beginning of your pursuit, you start by saying I am not the mind. And the mind is needed to understand what is your nature. What will happen? In the mind you will figure out what is your true nature. So that from the first class of Vedanta, I am not the mind. All this dissociation is disastrous. This I am not the body, I am not the mind, Vedanta keeps you floating. Getting the right relationship. Just as I am the managing trustee of the body, I need to examine what is my relationship with the mind. Am I the mind or I have a relationship with the mind? So, for that, we need to first little bit use the Shastra to understand what is the nature of mind. Mind. There is one part which is what we call the physical aspect of the mind, which is what we call brain. So when the brain surgeon does the surgery, what can they see? They can see your neurons, they can see chemical connections, they can see all that. But what they can't see is what? Your thoughts. So mind is not brain. Brain is the physical infrastructure. It is part of Sthula Sharira. Mind is part of Sukshma Sharira. You can't see. The surgeon can see your brain, he cannot see your thoughts. That's why it's part of subtle body, not available for perception. Now, it's nothing but thoughts, and it's just flow of thoughts. And in one day, approximately, as somebody was saying, we have about 60,000 thoughts. And what is your relationship with these 60,000 thoughts? Do they all stick to you?
Below him starting, that's why. It's here, the mind is below him starting. Now it's
I have to change my attitude towards technology. As long as I think it's an irritant, it will keep bothering me. The day I get it and I see its use, it will stop bothering me. This is my job.
But we find some better equipment.
No, I think it's my relationship. Because the same equipment you can use very easily. I'm struggling. Okay. Now I get the clues. I know exactly what I am doing. Okay. Now, so those 60 thoughts that I have, what is my relationship with? Do they stick to me? No. If they stuck to me, what will happen? They would be there permanently. What does it mean if I have had a tree thought? The tree is stuck to me forever. So next time when I think of a cow, the tree thought is there because it's stuck to me, and upon that tree thought, cow gets stuck. And then third, I saw the sun. So the tree remained, the cow remained, and sun got stuck. If everything got stuck to me, whatever I thought of, how many things will be stuck to me? Millions of things will be stuck to me. Is this your experience? Right now, when you are listening to me, everything is stuck to you? No. You're just, hopefully, just listening to me. You would not be able to listen to me and create images if all those images of things that you thought of got stuck to you. What does it mean? No thought. What is the reality got stuck to you? This is the truth. Then why do you identify and take I am as the mind if none of the thoughts got stuck to you? What made you make that conclusion? You don't need to free yourself from the thoughts. You are never affected by thoughts. This is Vedanta. The thoughts don't create any imprint on you. In your presence, they come, they stay for a while, for a fraction of a second, and in your presence, they go. You, look at this. You were already there before a thought came. And the thought did not displace you. You were there to see the presence of thought. That thought went, you are still there. While that thought was there, it did not leave any imprint on you. After that thought went, another thought came, you were still there. That thought came, it did not leave any imprint on you. That thought went, you are already free. Why? What is the problem here? You are already free. What is the problem here? Thought, while it came, it as though it never really got stuck. It as though got stuck as I am. And what did you do? You kept building on this and it became a huge story. Your own narrative of who you are. What does it mean? Look at this. All the thoughts, please understand, they don't create I sense. This is why the mind, among all the thoughts, in terms of their functions, there are 4 different types of functions. One is what we call manas, which is what? A seat of emotion. Like yesterday, what else is included? Emotions, impulsive mind. It creates first impressions. It creates options. These functions. Then you have buddhi, intellect. And what is this intellect? It's your cognitive capacity. As I told you, when you studied Apara Vidya, you used your brain to understand physics, to understand mathematics, to understand biology, chemistry, language, all of this. This is your cognitive capacity and also what else? Decision making and analytical capacity. Logic, use of logic. Ability to understand, use of advanced logic, decision making capacity. This is all part of your thought life. So thoughts are not just random, unconnected thoughts. They are all very well organized to perform these functions, sophisticated functions. But they are all just thoughts. Then you have chitta. And what is that chitta?
I can remember.
Memory. You are able to store impressions. You are able to store things. It's not like it has come and it is gone and it's gone forever. So you have memory. And memory also is divided in 2 parts, conscious memory and unconscious memory. What is conscious memory, right? Today you are using the language. When did you learn the language? Today? No. When did you learn the language? So many years ago in school. How come all these things that you learned, the grammar and how to construct a sentence and vocabulary that you learned over the years, you are able to recall like that and form a sentence? How? And it almost seems effortless. But how fast is your brain working to construct a sentence, put all the grammar together, all the rules together, bring all the different vocabulary to express a given idea that you want to express. And the next sentence is going to be totally different. And then you need to do the same process. It's a wonder. So much is stored in your memory. Suppose you are all this that I have studied. How long did I study? The people keep asking me, which year did I study? 95 to 98. All this I have studied with Swamiji. I was studying with Mini. I may have my own style of communicating, but everything that I have learned is only from him. There is nobody else I went to with him. I didn't have any other teacher. I didn't have any need to go to any other teacher. I had only one teacher. And I stayed with him. And I thought, and I thought, and I thought. And now, everything that comes out today is what stored in my memory. So, not only I'm asking, but you people are asking questions from wherever. And I'm able to retrieve the relevant information and present it. All memory. It's a wonder. So this modern day, being present, what does it mean? Your present is so intimately connected to the past. If you were only present and not at all connected to the past, I won't be able to utter one word. Because the language I have learned in the past, Vedanta I have learned in the past, it's all stored in my memory and I'm able to retrieve the right things at the right time. It's a wonder. So sounding good spirituality sometimes has no meaning. Sounds good, it doesn't make sense, right? So, what does it mean? Memory is an integral part of your brain. Then, in addition to memory, which is conscious memory, you have unconscious memory. What is unconscious memory? This is where all the psychology, all the traumas, they get stored. You are too young to process it. It goes back into the unconscious so that you can continue to operate. But just that you have denied it or ignored it or pushed it back doesn't mean they don't exist. They interfere. They interfere in your emotional life. They interfere in the way you make decisions, how you respond to the world, your orientations, your beliefs about the world, your beliefs about yourself. It colors everything. This is the unconscious memory, how it interferes with your conscious processes, and you don't even realize it. So this is what we call the unconscious. And then you have the finally I sense. In Sanskrit, we call it ahankara. Tada means it gives you a sense. It's not really I, it's just one of the modes of the mind. But it gives you that I sense. And what is this I sense? Look at this. The I sense is not just some I-related thought, but it gives you your identity. This I sense is not just one flowing thought. What we have done is, we have built on this I sense through our memory and created a narrative. Different conditions of the body became what I am. What does it mean? I'm fat. Or I'm beautiful. Anything. Or I'm fair, or I'm dark, or whatever.
It becomes a purpose.
Yes, now look at this. not only body-related thoughts became your I sense, senses-related thoughts also became your I sense. I'm blind. I'm not able to hear. So any condition of your senses also became part of your I sense. Not all the thoughts, but some thoughts, right? When you process, when you have thoughts, there are two things. One is, this is the tree, where you're not confusing, right? The thought is, this is the tree. But along with it, there is what we call self-reflexive capacity, which makes you process, this is tree, simultaneously as I see the tree. What does it mean? Not only you see the tree, but you have a sense, I see the tree. So I gets involved in all the activities. So this is the condition of the senses, then the mind. So a given external situation produces sadness, but your mind doesn't just process it as this is sadness. What does it say? I am sad. It processes it. What does it do in terms of reality? It produces a thought which is with this emotion of sadness, but simultaneously when you experience the emotion, the I sense reports it as I am sad. So all the emotions are all loaded onto your I am. Your cognitive capacities also get loaded onto I am. That you are able to answer some questions in college because you have sharp cognitive capacity, but you also process it as I'm clever, I'm smart, I'm intelligent. Everywhere your I sense connects to every function. Do you understand? So it gets connected with your intellect, and it also gets connected with your memories. When I was young, I was a very naughty child. What did you do? As a child, you ran around. That is what happened. But the body ran around. But what is stored in your memory? I am naughty. So that means this I am. How many things get attributed to this I am? And these are all facts. But the mind is ingenious. It is not just storing all these, it creates a narrative, creates a story.
In fact, they say there is an autobiographical self.
Yeah.
Right?
Which creates a story
of your life. This is also one of the dimensions of the self.
You link, and you tell yourself a story. In this is all what gets attributed to I am. But nobody, when they talk about themselves, they don't just talk about yesterday I had this, and it creates an autobiography. And what does it mean? It gives you, if all this comes together, it gives you your self-image. Are you important? Are you not important? Are you worth it? You're not worth it? Are you small? Are you inflating yourself to be overly big? It's an outcome of how you have put together all this information in your own head, how you have processed it. So that means, it's time. Oh, it's 1:20. Okay, I will stop it. And what I mean to say is it gives you self-image, it gives you orientations, it gives you beliefs about the world. This is the whole story, narrative. And we all live from this narrative. Now, What we have to do is examine what is my relationship with these different functions of the mind, especially the eye sense. Right? That is something we have to do. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om.